there are 3 to 4 major lacks. These lacks are what divides the world into certain classes. There is a classes system that exists, and it's these lacks that create that classes system. Number 1, there is a lack of education and training. Now, we all know that traders, those who are educated and well trained, live a very different life and are regarded as very different individuals than those who are uneducated and untrained. The uneducated and untrained in this world, on this planet, will live very differently and will have a very different set of opportunities from those who are well educated and well trained at some skill or craft. So one of the things that separates people into these two groups, education and training. Number 1. Number 2, there is the lack of access to capital. And that's a huge separator of people. You see, there's a large number of people who have no access to money. So it doesn't matter what ideas they have. It doesn't matter what dreams they have. The lack of access to capital to make those ideas and dreams become a reality is what separates people as well. Those who have access to money, I don't know about other planets, guys, but on this planet, those who have access to money are regarded differently than those who have access to no money. And so you have education and training, the lack of education, the lack of training, and the lack of money. These are the 3 large divides that separate people. Now, some people regard education and training as being the same. It's really not. Education is more fundamental. Education is more like going to medical school and learning with books. And education in our field would be watching YouTube videos. That's education. Going to a seminar, that's education, but that's not training. Watching a YouTube video on trading is education. It is not training. All right? Education is fundamental. Education is important. Education sets the foundation. But education without training is actually useless. Learning all the medical terms that a doctor uses in class is not useful if you have not been trained to be a doctor. So while both are necessary, training is far more important than education. Training comes after education, but it is far higher on the totem pole of importance than education. And so we've got a lot of people in this industry are educated up the wazoo. They've got education pouring out of their ears, but does that mean that they're trained? They can talk to you and sound very intelligent because they have become educated, but that does not mean that you are trained. And so we need education and training. Training is what a doctor, what a medical student then, after graduating from med school, goes into an internship where they're working at an actual hospital. They're working they're working with real patients. They're administering real solutions, real medication, participating in real operations. They are dealing with sicknesses and helping to heal. Actually, it's no longer theory. It's no longer textbook. It's on the job training. And that's what a lot of people are missing in this industry. They've got education. They've read a lot of books. They've gone to a lot of seminars. They've watched a lot of YouTube videos, but they are not trained. And that is not what I want you to be. I don't want you to be one of these empty, educated people walking around here claiming that you know all that you need to know, but you can't actually put it into practice because you're not properly trained. So training is extraordinarily important. Now, if you are well-trained traders, but yet you don't have access to money, then how do you make the training useful? How do you add utility to your training? Education is useless without training. Training is useless without money, without the opportunity to apply your training with money to something. And this is the ultimate form of lack. It is a travesty. It is a crime to become educated and then to become trained but have no access to the appropriate amount of capital to turn that training into something life-changing for yourself. And so why do I talk to you about this? I talk to you about this because when I had my dream to bring professional style trading to every regular individual that I possibly could, because I started in this business as a regular individual, I realized that if I were going to do this, I have to provide these three lacks. How can I spread the gospel of trading to you or anyone else? How can I go to India and China, which I have done? How can I go throughout all of Europe, which I have done? How can I go through South America, which I have done, and all throughout the United States, spreading the gospel of trading and bringing regular individuals into this business in ways that can change their life? How can I do that if I'm not providing them with the proper amount of education, but not just there, the proper amount of hands-on training, real hands-on training, real training in the market? And most importantly, how can I do it without providing those people with money, with capital? And so when I took this huge decision, I had to sell my other firm. I had to go in a different direction because the partner that I had with my first firm did not believe in this dream. And so I sold my company, or my portion of it, and I went in this direction of wanting to educate, train, and fund the world as best I possibly can. And I've been doing this for a number of years, and the dream every single day is becoming a reality. Today, traders, today, we are over 10,000 traders strong. These traders span over 90 some odd different countries. There are obviously different levels of development and so forth and so on, but that is quite impressive. That makes us one of the biggest and most powerful organizations on the planet as it relates to this industry. All right. I continue to advise and speak for financial organizations globally. And so that is where I've come from. That, traders, is how I got involved in the markets, how that has led me to what I do today, and why I do it today.